All beef and swine exhibitors, don't forget to go pick up your complimentary buckets in the main show barn. To kick off the Dairy Goat Show, we're going to start with open class, and his name is Jude Beavers.
Test, 1, 2. Well, a great way to start off the Dairy Goat Show here after a very good Holstein cow Jersey, or Holstein and Jersey dairy cow show with this great open class entry. A very good single entry here, showing a lot of promise, and it'll go down the road for this young man in the future here. Thank you.
Up next, we still have the second for open class, and it is Jude Beavers with his Nubian. After we get done with open class, this is going to be the first call for Dairy Goat Senior Showmanship.
Well, a very good milking goat here in the open class show for this young man. Just an older one that just getting used to the ring here, but very nice looking entry with a correct mammary system on this one, and looks like very good production potential. So great looking goat.
Attention swine exhibitors, if you have not weighed in your swine yet, they will still be weighing them for 10 more minutes. So if you have not weighed them in yet, they will only be there for 10 more minutes.
Yes. I'm missing a trophy still. Reserve. Oh, wait. Yeah, the bottom's loose too, though. Should I put the goats on? Yeah, I'm missing the reserve. Christina, do you know what they did with the back tags that were sitting here? Where did the back tags go? That were okay.
Maybe you had it, and I didn't. Mine was not sure. Yeah, they were frozen. Yeah.
Oh, I was asking about back tags, but Gage has them.
I did that again.
Do you know if and where they posted the livestock judging as well? Perfect, thank you. It's not over here, it's just show program.
Your class of senior showmanship for dairy goats, you have Austin March, Shelby March, and Charlotte Schuerman.
Hey, Lane was reserved. I got it.
This is the first call for junior showmanship.
Two purples and a blue. Well, a great way to start off our senior showmanship for our dairy goat show here for the Gage County Fair 2021. 3 individuals out here that definitely show that they've been doing this for a while. Overall knowledge was great of each of their respective goats, and overall basically setting them up and knowing knowledge of each of them was really apparent. But I'm going to go ahead and start off with the young lady with her 6-year-old goat here. She'll be placed first. Just overall was the most attentive of the class, especially when we were switching in the front. She was the fastest and most alert, followed by the young lady in second. Just didn't quite always have her set up as fast as the young lady in first, but taking nothing away from them. Very good goats. And following with the young man in third, just maybe a little bit slower on the setting up than the two young ladies in front of him, but a great group of senior showmanship. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Yep, once we get our junior in.
Okay, sounds good. We'll do the overall. Yes, we have it, so we'll do it. Charlotte was champion, Shelby was reserve, and Austin was a blue.
Your champion senior showmanship was Charlotte Schuerman, and your reserve champion showmanship was Shelby March.
A great class of junior showmanship here with this young man showing his 2-year-old goat. A lot of knowledge about his goat. He's got 4 more at home that he does a very good job on, I can say. If this one is as clean and nice looking as those other 3 at home, he's got a lot of potential in this project. And I asked him if he enjoyed it, and he said he was having fun. So that's the biggest thing. So great junior showmanship class.
If we can have Charlotte and Shelby come back to the ring, we're going to pick an overall showman. Your sponsor for the senior champion are Tom and Becky Schuerman. Your sponsor for the junior showmanship champion are Roger and Sherry March. Roger and Angie. Sorry.
To go ahead and select overall showman here for the Dairy Goat Show, have 3 great individuals out here with great animal knowledge of each of their animals and experience in the industry, what I feel talking with all 3 of them here. But going to go ahead and start off with a young lady here in a white shirt. Just overall experience, the way that I feel with how she presents her goat. She knows all the info on it and is very, very knowledgeable. Then going to go ahead with the second young man here in reserve. Overall, just thought that he was maybe a little bit quicker on setting up and maybe just a little more snappier when we were over here switching for the fronts. Just kind of liked his attentiveness and things like that. Taking nothing away from the young lady here in third. Just maybe had their goats set up very correctly all the time. Just a little bit faster on the halter is what I'd like to see. But taking nothing away from all three of these individuals. Great group of showmanship here for the Dairy Goat Show.
Your overall showman was Charlotte Schuerman. We are going to start dairy goats by breed, and first up we're going to have Alpine milkers under 2.
Well, to start off the placing show for the dairy goats here this morning, have a great looking 2-year-old here that for a single entry just kind of checks all the marks. Just a very good rear udder crease to it, and the overall body with the uphill run and the spring and depth to her rib. Just a very good individual that's going to progress in her future. So great looking Alpine.
Okay, I told you we got 1 over 5. Charlotte, this dry day.
That was Austin March for Alpine milkers under 2 with a purple. Up next, we have Charlotte Schuerman with Alpine milkers age 5 and older.
How many sets of kids?
She's had 2. Yep.
Very good single entry here for a 6-year-old Alpine that's had 2 sets of kids here with overall great looking milking appearance and overall spring and depth to her rib with that nice looking uphill run for a dairy goat. You also admire that nice rear curvature to her rear udder. Very good looking Alpine. Oh, no, that's all right. Purple ribbon.
Alpine, right? Did I say that right?
Champion Alpine.
That was Charlotte Schuerman with a purple for Alpine milkers ages 5 and older.
Go ahead and pull them
And we're
side
going to
by
pick our
side here.
champions Alpines and reserve champion Alpine.
Go ahead and pull yours side by side here. All right, to go ahead and select our champion Alpine milker of the show, I'm going to go ahead with this young lady's 6-year-old here. Just overall a goat that puts it all together with the overall size and scale of her body condition and things like that. Taking nothing away from the one here in second. Would like to change the hip placement on this young man's Alpine here, but 2 great looking dairy goats, so thank you.
Your champion Alpine is Charlotte Schuerman, and your reserve champion Alpine is Austin March. Up next, we will have the Nubian milkers, ages 2 to 3, and it'll be Austin March.
Well, bugs got in it, but we're not allowed to spray it because the guy's got an orchard. And so we cut it, and I tell you what, it didn't come back. I'd never seen an alfalfa field killed, but I thought it was gone. But we got over a bale an acre on second cut, so not that it was good hay, but
it was hay. Yeah.
We got only one in this class and then one more Nubian, and then those will be the only two for reserve and grand champion.
Okay. Right. How old is this?
3.
Okay. All right. That'll be good enough. Just kind of pull her to the center of the ring here. Well, a great looking 3-year-old Nubian goat here for this young man. Just got to admire the overall structure of the goat here for correct udder attachments and things like that. A really good goat that has a lot of potential here, and really good looking one for this young man. So great way to start off the Nubian breed here today. Well, a great looking purple ribbon here, Nubian goat here for this young man. Just got to admire the overall size and scale and dairy look to this goat. A goat that has a lot of potential here that when she calves in again, I think it'll be very productive here for this young man. So good job.
Those will be for champion and reserve champion Nubian.
For champion Nubian here, I'm going to start off with this young man's goat here for champion. Just feel overall with the younger youthfulness of this overall goat, with the overall median suspensory ligament is more visible versus this young man's here. Just would like to see just a little more freshness to that mammary system. Taking nothing away from the young man here in reserve, just would like to maybe clean up that goat a little bit, maybe take a few flesh off of it. But other than that, two great looking Nubian goats.
Your champion Nubian goes to Austin March, and your reserve champion Nubian was Bo Beavers.
How old is this one? 2 years old. Okay, and it's a Saanen. Is that right? Saanen. Okay.
For this class, we have Shelby March with a Saanen milker, age 2 to 3.
Well, a great start here for the Saanen breed for this young lady with her 2-year-old goat. very good looking goat, showing a lot of potential to her. Just love that overall cleanliness to the front end of her head and neck. And then also coming on back to the rear end with that very proper udder and rear udder attachment. A lot of potential with that young goat.
For this next class, it'll be Bow Beavers for Saanen milkers age 3 to 4.
Corn looked pretty good otherwise.
It's promising. It hung in there and things like that. So won't be a yield breaker, but it'll be a silent filler. And
That's what that's what.
yeah. Just bring her to the middle here. How old is this Saanen?
She is a coming 3-year-old.
Okay, coming 3-year-old. Well, a great looking coming 3-year-old here for this Saanen, for this young man. Very good potential with this goat. You got to admire the rear udder pop to this goat and then the overall spring and depth to her rib structure. Just one that's going to really give him quite a few kids down the road that are going to look a lot like this, and really good looking goat for this young man. Champion Saanen.
That's correct. Yep.
For champion Saanen here, the Saanen breed here at the fair, I'm going to go ahead with this young man's goat. Biggest thing looking at it here would be the overall presence of the median suspensory ligament here, and then the overall curvature of the rear udder. Just a little more udder and mammary placement than what I'd like for this young man over the young lady's white Saanen here in second. Taking nothing away from it, just maybe not as much bloom to the rear udder as what I'd like to see, and that split in the curvature. So, but two good-looking Saanen goats.
Your champion Saanen goes to Bow Beavers, and your reserve champion Saanen is Shelby March. Up next, we will have other breed milkers ages 2 to 3 with Bow Beavers, Austin March, and Shelby March.
Well, for this AOB class of dairy goats, I was going to go ahead with this young man's AOB coming 3-year-old, I believe is what he had told me. Just an overall basis on the rear udder attachment, just the most pop to that rear udder and cleft. And then followed by this young lady here in second. Biggest thing, just not as much of a bigger framed goat. By all means, you know, it's something, it's a give and a take, but I think 2 very good goats here at the top, and taking nothing away from this young man's dry, his coming 3, but would like to see this one calved in, or excuse me, in fresh, in milking, and it would really compete with these other 2. So, good looking AOB class.
In first place in this class goes to Bo Beavers with the purple. Second place, Shelby March with the blue, and Austin March in third place with a blue also. This next class will be a dry doe, age 2 and older, and that will be in Bo Beavers.
So I had a little miscommunication here, but this one is in its own class as a dry coming 3-year-old. So great looking promise for this goat here for this young man, but look forward to seeing it in full milk. So good looking goat. For this class, we have Daughter Dam and Bo Beavers. So this was the first offspring of this one then? Okay. Well, a good looking single entry here for Daughter Dam AOB for these dairy goats, but this first offspring for this young man's dry, really good potential. It shows a lot of unique characteristics between the 2, but a lot of similarities as it should, and 2 goats that are really going to go down the road and be successful for this young man. So great looking single entry, Daughter Dam. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stick with my placings here for this first milking class of AOB dairy goats. Go ahead with this young man here for champion AOB, followed by the young ladies. I'm in my same placing of the class, but just two overall goats that really put it together, very similarities. And at these two, you know, with this this dam and then the overall drive for the young man, very good potential. But with the two milking, going to go ahead with champion and then reserve for AOB. Okay, and how old is she?
Okay.
So a very good looking single entry Saanen and Lamancha cross here. Just a goat that kind of puts it all together with the overall mammary system, and one that has a lot of future to her, with being just a 2-year-old here with just a clean front end, that overall spring and depth to her rib, but a very good looking cross goat here.
Yes. Sorry. All right. Now, I think if I calculate that right, it should be 9-ish to come back to this.
Your champion of other breeds goes to Austin March. Your reserve champion of other breeds is Shelby March. And your champion record grade is Shelby March.
Okay, now keep on.
Shelby really could be back there. Well, actually, Alpine could be up here, and then that would they all be how they came in. You got that?
Yep.
You can move them if you want, but
Got it.
you know what they are.
Yep. How old is this one again? Gotcha. Nope, no problem. Three? Okay. How old is this one? Six. Six. That's right. Go ahead and leave this one out. Line it up against that one. Go ahead and leave yours out. How old is yours again? To go ahead and select a champion milking dairy goat here for the Dairy Goat Show, kind of narrowed it down to, these in the ring. I won't need any second places back. I think I've got my champion in reserve here, but I'll kind of talk the two and give you the reasoning on my placings. But going to go ahead with this young man for champion here with his 3-year-old. Just the overall, just kind of like judging with the dairy cows, which I have much more experience in, but talking with a lot of my college colleagues here with the judging team, and pretty much said, well, go out there and place it just like you would a dairy cow. And with a scorecard of like what a dairy cow is, that udder and mammary system is worth 40% of the points. And I feel that this young man's goat, with the overall rear udder attachment, that height and that width, is what puts that over the young man's or the young lady's goat here in second. The biggest thing with this young man here, his is only about 3 years old. The young lady's is about 6, and that also comes with age too. But I just felt that the overall mammary system condition and the way that the goats that were displayed here today, going to go with the young man as champion and the young lady here for reserve. Thank you.
Sorry, you can't stay any longer.
No. Not a whole lot. I'm going to cover crop in the drill and over and we did that. Yeah, we did kind of did some trial things. We did a split one, so that case half and half, and I think that was really what I think another engineering that I did was it came out like 68 grain, but it was only over 80 acres just for something to draw on the whole new. The biggest thing is the combine going in the center, and that rotation too is
Can I please have the grand champion, Dairy Goat Bo? Can you please meet our photographer over and get your picture taken? And your reserve grand champion, Dairy Goat, is Charlotte Schuerman. If you could also take your award and get your picture taken with our photographer. And please return the trophies back to the announcer stand after you get done taking pictures.
Well, you said us too. The answer is no, not us too, but yes.
And there we go. He got them all